Y'all have probably heard about the recent allegations against Diddy. Well, hold on to your wigs because Suge Knight just stirred the pot and threw the whole dang kitchen sink into this mess.
They call it the boiled egg test. They could take a boiled egg, a raw boiled egg, and have those guys put their pants down and bend over and stick it up their ass. I don't care if it's T.I., I don't care if it's Rick Ross, I don't care if it's Jay, I don't care if it's Snoop, I don't care if it's Game, I don't care if it's Dre. Nobody's stepping up.
I didn't make it happen and Puffy didn't make it happen. One night I was at my house and Puffy's son was over about like 9 o'clock and I'm like, cuz, what time you going home? And he like, I'm spending the night.
You know, I really gotta have a real conversation with Snoop.
Hold this. I got it. Go ahead. Lock out on this. Oh, he locked out on like that? Oh, he locked. See, that's them. He's locking right there. That's locking. That's called pop locking. That's locking right there.
That's right, y'all. Suge Knight, the former CEO of Death Row Records, just did a live interview with Chis Cuomo from prison, and he did not hold back. He's calling out everyone from Jay-Z and Dr. Dre to Snoop Dogg for staying silent about the Diddy allegations. But that's not all. Suge's got a particular bone to pick with Snoop, claiming he's the one who set him up and turned his back on Death Row. Oh, and he's also hinting that Snoop might know more about Tupac's murder than he's letting on. I know, right? It's like a hip-hop soap opera. Now, before we dive deeper, let's remember that Suge Knight isn't exactly known for being the most reliable source, but still, some of what he's saying is raising eyebrows faster than a Nicki Minaj verse. So let's break it down, shall we?
They do these things to take control. They're not doing, there's nothing wrong with being gay. If you choose to be gay, that's your preference. But they doing this to people for control. It's a power situation.
In this bombshell interview, Suge didn't just throw shade, he threw the whole tree. He's claiming that Diddy isn't the only one in the industry who's been forcing younger artists into humiliating situations behind closed doors. According to Suge, this kind of shady business has been going on in the music industry for decades.
He didn't react or get where he got or doing those things or those allegations by himself. He was taught from people before him, and he did it to the younger people after him. And we can talk all day and say what's true, what's not true. Only true part about it is videos, conversations, and people can see what they've done.
Mm-hmm.
But for it being happy and proud and say what do people think, that's irrelevant.
So, Suge.
It's just like I heard earlier today when Ray J was talking to TMZ.
Mm-hmm.
I got love for Harvey, but I see Charles always got something negative to say when it comes to West Coast people. And Charles tried to make a reference to say that, how do I feel when I'm in prison? Yeah, I'm in prison. I guarantee you I'm free more than Charles. If I feel like sleeping to 5 o'clock, I want to sleep 12 hours a day, I can.
Sure.
But besides all that, the fact is, it's not no competition who's going to talk the loudest or talk the best. It's not something positive that can help anybody. I don't get on no platforms unless it be something positive. If it ain't positive.
When Cuomo asks Suge if he thinks Diddy is the Black Epstein, and if that's why so many celebs who used to roll with Diddy are suddenly quieter than a mouse in church, Suge wasted no time spilling the tea. He started dropping names, claiming that some major players in the music industry, including Diddy's former mentors, were the ones who taught Diddy how to run his whole operation.
First of all, you got to start with at the top. You starting with the top. Davis, Russell Simmons, Andre Arell, Jimmy Iovine. Even if you take Jimmy Iovine, he had an allegation from him, same thing, he went away. You take Jimmy Iovine. They told me at Universal and Interscope, they said, you know what? We can't deal with artists that gets in trouble. And your artist gets in trouble, they talk crazy. Let's think about what they see. Now, I was told that I can't do business there because of that. Now, Doug Morris gave Puffy a deal for millions of dollars. It flopped. So when you look at all these things and everybody want to say Puffy, 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 don't get me wrong. Yeah, Puffy stepped in this and even if you wipe it off his shoe, it still stinks. But he's not the only one. They got all the tapes.
Now, when you talk about the tapes,
but this been going on for a long time.
But wait, it gets even messier. Suge talked about something called the boiled egg test that these industry men allegedly used on young artists. I won't go into the nasty details, but let's just say it makes me want to take a shower just thinking about it.
What they show. They used to have a thing in the industry, right? The sad thing about it, I don't like mentioning Usher. I don't like mentioning Justin Bieber. I don't like mentioning all these people that everybody know what time it is. So at the same time, they used to have a joke. They never played this joke with me. And they used to walk in the Interscope office. They'd go back there and they'd be like, hey, we passed the test. I said, we haven't did the test. One dude said, well, don't say that in front of Mr. Knight because he's going to take it offensive and hurt somebody. I said, well, whatever it is, I probably will take it offensive when somebody will get their ass whooped. You know, that was me in those days. They used to have these guys, they used to call it the boiled egg test. They could take a boiled egg, a raw boiled egg, and have those guys put their pants down and bend over and they stick it up their ass. The eggs break, they say they're not ready yet. They ain't put enough work in. This is Hollywood. So everybody want to go act like they don't know what's going on.
Hold on a second,
but
Suge.
if you just look, all you gotta do is
I have never heard of anything like that. So if I haven't heard about it, just assume a lot of people haven't heard that before. But you think it's on video?
Let's stop for a second.
Go ahead, Suge.
Yeah, listen, and also, have you ever been to any puffy parties?
No.
You sure they had a long time to think about it, but if you haven't been in those naked parties, even some of the preachers been in those parties, and they wasn't on their knees praying for God. See, they was praying for somebody to have come real quick or something, but I wasn't there, but there's proof of it. But at the same time, everybody want to look around and act like something going on that wasn't right. It's the facts of life in the industry, not for the people who don't get in. So, everybody, you got to look at it like this. You see a beautiful woman, or you see a handsome man, and it was like that all their life. From elementary school to junior high school to high school, if they forced to go to college, right? They always knew they had something special about themselves. If you take some of the Hollywood executives or some artists, they might have been the ugly duckling for a long time before they had the teeth sticks, the lipsticks, and nose sticks, all the work done. Underneath, they still the young people with no confidence because they've been that way all their life. So all of a sudden, if you look at Puffy old pictures, don't look nothing like his new pictures. You know, shit, they didn't do everything.
But Suge, just because he has plastic surgery.
Suge didn't stop there, though. He started naming rappers like Jay-Z and Snoop Dogg, claiming they all knew exactly what Diddy was up to, and that's why they're staying silent now. He's basically saying, if you're not speaking up, you're part of the problem.
I don't care if it's T.I., I don't care if it's Rick Ross, I don't care if it's Jay, I don't care if it's Snoop, I don't care if it's Game, I don't care if it's Dre. Nobody's stepping up on the fact that you know what's going on.
Nobody's defending him.
You're right. Guys at Interscope.
You're right.
Okay.
Nobody is defending him, but that's why I was interested in hearing your perspective.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Suge wants the media to focus on the people above Diddy, saying all this mess didn't start with Diddy and it won't end with him either. He's implying that there's a whole network of powerful people in the industry who've been involved in this kind of behavior for years.
Most important thing is there's got to be a solution, because this has been going on in the industry for a whole years, for decades. And at the same time, you know, nobody wants it to be true, and it shouldn't have to be true. But if we don't fix it and do something about it, history will constantly
repeat itself. Now, Suge, you said something early on that I want to get clarification for the audience. Suge, you said early on, you can't just look at Diddy in isolation. You said this was done to him. He learned from others, and it was done to him, and then he did to others. To me, that sounds like what I hear when people are talking about situations, you know, hurt people, that someone was sexually abused, they wind up being a perpetrator. Is that what you're suggesting about Sean Combs, that he was sexually abused and he now sexually abused?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. I think he beat what was done to him. And like I said, if you look at Russell Simmons, you know the truth. Andre Rail, you know the truth. Davis, you know the truth. Jimmy Iovine, you know the truth. So there's not certain things that all of a sudden you got this. The industry is a quick business. It's been like that for a long time. And the casting couch is real, but it's for women and men. But far from all that, I think the most important thing is I feel like they should let Puffy tell his truth. I'm quite sure he's going to expose a lot of people. I'm sure he's going to move forward with it. But I don't think it should be a situation like the Epstein thing where they found him hanging from the ceiling or dead before the truth come out.
Now, I know Suge isn't exactly the poster child for honesty, but you have to admit, he might be onto something here. Think about it. Diddy was only 24 when he started Bad Boy Records after Andre Harrell fired him from Uptown. He didn't have the money or influence to do that on his own back then, so who helped him build his empire, and what did they want in return? It's definitely food for thought, besties. But wait, there's more. Suge's got a particular beef with Snoop Dogg, and it's not just about the music industry drama. In a recent episode of his prison podcast, Collect Call with Suge Knight, Suge made some explosive claims about Snoop's alleged role in Tupac's murder. Yeah, you heard that right. He's bringing up Tupac. Suge is saying that Snoop has some serious explaining to do, especially when it comes to what went down during Tupac's last days. He's hinting that Snoop might have been playing both sides back in the day and was a little too quiet for someone who was supposed to be Tupac's friend.
I knew that Pac did everything right by him by putting him on All Eyes on Me, speaking about him and being real with him. And if it's true what they say,
this call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Face-to-face is going to be a lot of explaining.
Suge even brought up how he was the one who fronted the money for Snoop's bail way back in the day, basically saying Snoop owes him big time. He's implying that after everything he did for Snoop, Snoop turned his back on him.
I've been doing that young dude a long time. He ain't young no more, but I've been doing it since he was a young man. And I did everything in my power to make sure he kept his freedom.
But here's where it gets really wild. Suge brought up something Warren G recently shared on Drink Champs. According to Warren, on the night Tupac was killed in '96, he convinced Snoop to stay in LA instead of going to Vegas with Pac and Suge. Warren spilled all the details about what went down before they got the devastating news about Pac getting shot.
He came for the fight instead of going to Vegas.
So he never went to Vegas?
He never went to Vegas. He didn't go off top.
Warren dropped a bombshell saying he and Snoop found out about Tupac getting shot through a live update via a Nextel walkie-talkie while they were chilling at Warren's crib in LA. Suge found it super suspicious that Snoop was even carrying a walkie-talkie that night. He's basically implying that Snoop might have had some inside info about the hit on Pac.
Well, you have a radio. If you was at the fight with us and you had a security detail. Now, not having a security detail, what are you doing with the radio?
But Suge didn't stop there. He also claimed that Snoop and former Death Row artist Daz Dillinger actually teamed up on a track with DeAndre Smith, the man Suge is now accusing of being Tupac's alleged killer. And get this, Suge says Snoop straight up warned Daz not to head to Vegas on the night of September 7th, 1996, the same night Pac got shot. Suge even called out Snoop for allegedly lying about trying to visit Tupac in the hospital. Snoop had always said he got kicked out trying to see Pac, but according to Suge, that never happened. He claims Snoop never even showed up at the hospital. Now, it's important to remember that the main suspect in Tupac's murder right now is Dwayne Keffy D. Davis. He's the same guy who previously claimed that Diddy allegedly offered the Southside Crips $1 million to take out both Suge and Pac. Keffy D has pleaded not guilty, and his trial is set for next month. But with Suge throwing Snoop's name into the mix before Keffy D's trial even starts, the hip-hop community is split. Some people are saying we can't trust Suge because he's not exactly known for being truthful, but others are pointing out how sketchy it was that Tupac cut ties with Snoop just before he was killed. One fan said, "I believe Snoop and Puff know more about Tupac than they ever told us." Another added, "Snoop, you've been really quiet, too quiet. It's a matter of short time, dog. So, What do you think, besties? Is Suge Knight spitting facts or just stirring up drama? Do you believe his claims about Diddy's mentors and the shady practices in the music industry? And what about his allegations about Snoop being involved in Tupac's murder? Is there any truth to it, or is it all just smoke and mirrors? One thing's for sure, this story is far from over. As more details come out and more people start speaking up, we're likely to hear even more shocking revelations. Who knows what other secrets might come to light? Whatever happens, you know we will be here to spill all the tea as soon as it comes out. So make sure you're subscribed and have those notifications turned on, because you do not want to miss what happens next in this crazy story. Until next time, keep it real, keep it messy, and keep sipping that tea. This is Hot Gossip you've been watching. Goodbye. You've been watching.